Congratulations. So, great stuff. This is the pre-tournament press conference featuring the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona is making its 25th trip to the Women's College World Series after having defeated Mississippi State in the Starkville Super Regional. We are joined by head coach Caitlin Lowe, student athletes Allie Skaggs, Hanah Bowen, and Sharlize Palacios. Coach, if you could just start us off and tell us a little bit about the Wildcats journey to OKC.
Well, just so honored to be here amongst so many great teams, so many great coaches and athletes. It's just an honor and a lot of different paths to get here. I think that's what stands out the most. And ours was a bumpy road to start, and we have a team that really persevered through a lot of stuff that happened this season, and just so very proud of this group of women for coming together at the right time and really going through some tough, a very tough regional, a very tough super regional to be here. So proud to be here and excited to compete with this group.
Sharlize, you guys opened regional play with a win and then faced Missouri in that second game, and Hanah turned in an absolutely brilliant pitching performance and shut them down. What did that guy do for you guys, confidence-wise? Like, hey, we can do this. How did you guys feel after that game?
I think it was a great momentum shift for us to get some wins under our belt against some really good teams and some really good players. I think we sparked our hitting off of Bo and off of Devin, just having them pitching really good games. It really made us want to score against them, and I think it was kind of a battle for us at the plate, but it was something really good that we were able to overcome.
Questions for coach or student athletes, please? Go right here.
Dean Rule, the Oklahoman. Caitlin, I think you're one of 3 coaches in the field who played here in college and in Oklahoma City, and I think you go back about 15 years.
Hey.
5 years. Right?
5.
But just kind of, can you reminisce on those playing days and just how different it was then versus how it is now?
Well, I have to say it felt so grand back then. This stadium felt so big and larger than life, and it's crazy because you look at it now with the triple deck and it's just a whole different vibe, and it gets better and better every year. I think the ratings get better and better every year. The competition gets better and better. So it's just cool to see the sport grow. And, Oklahoma City and the state of Oklahoma have really embraced this tournament and just make it an A-class event, and just so proud to be here, but really just to be a part of the growth of softball has been so cool. And, I know that these athletes are going to put on a show for you guys this week and really just add to it.
In front here.
Hey, Coach, I talked with Maddie earlier today and just about playing her sister, Miranda. Have you talked to her about that at all, and what kind of experience do you think that'll be for Maddie?
I think it's going to be fun. I think they got to see each other last night at the banquet and take some pictures, and then it's less about softball, more about family. I think it's cool, and I actually played my sister at the World Series, and it was rough. More rough for the parents. And I think that's where it's going to be interesting to see, how her parents do in the crowd. But it's exciting. I mean, they're both at the top level of their game. That's just so cool to see a family go through, and they must be really proud, and they're going to have a lot of probably anxiety to go with it.
Go over here.
Yeah. For Coach. I know there had to have been some pressure on your team on keeping the NCAA tournament streak alive, but once you guys made the tournament, have you guys been able to play with less pressure? Have you noticed a difference in your team?
Yeah, I think, honestly, someone brought it up, and watching the selection show was huge for our team, and it made my heart happy just to hear their reaction. And I thought we released a lot that day, and it was just a new start from then on. And I think they've played with less pressure. I think they've played loose. I think they've started to be themselves, and it helps to have a healthy team going in too. And I think they chose themselves in a way that they hadn't yet before. It didn't really matter what anybody else thought, and they kind of went on a tear of being themselves, and I think that's been the coolest thing to see.
And you mentioned it, but I guess I'll ask, Allie, how did the struggles earlier in the season help you and get you guys to where you are now?
Honestly, I think it just showed how competitive we were as a team just because we had it in us, and losing brings that out of you. Losing sucks. We hated it. It's not fun. And so it brings it out of us because we have such a fire in us. And so you go on an 0-8 streak, and it just says, right, at what point are we going to change this? It's up to us. Like, that's one thing that Kate kept telling us at the end of those games. It's, hey, it's up to you guys. Like, you're the team now. Like, go light a fire under someone and let's go win some games. And so losing, I think, just ignites that. And now that we're on a little bit of a good streak, I think the pressure's off. We're loose. We're just having a good time and taking advantage of every single moment that we get at this point.
All right, we'll go to David Kelly.
Hey guys, you can hear me good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hey, just for Caitlin and Sharlize and Hanah, obviously the numbers dictate that this team is pitching better in the postseason. So what's the difference? What's the difference in how you guys are attacking hitters now than maybe what we saw during even the latter stages of the regular season?
Start with Hanah, please.
In all honesty, I think it's just the time is right now, and just going out there like I always do, command and attack the zone. And I'm just here to win. And I felt like right now everything is starting to click as a whole, not only for myself, but with this team. And we're just ready to go.
Sharlize.
I think they've had it in them the whole time. It's just a matter of when they were bringing it out, and they brought it out at the perfect time. I love catching our pitching staff. They're great competitors, and they do an amazing job. And I think just what Hanah said is just trusting and commanding the zone and competing out there. I think that's what we did as a whole entire team. And it's really fun catching them now in the postseason. It's always been fun, but even elevated to that, they've been doing an amazing job, and I'm really proud of them.
Coach.
You know, it's funny. I was looking at our Instagram, and they were talking about how the team's been doing puzzles, and I just like sat in my room and I was like, we're a puzzle, and we're a bunch of puzzle pieces, and that's what we were at the beginning of the year. We were a bunch of really good puzzle pieces, and we saw it in the fall. We just knew we had to put the pieces together, the pitching, the defense, and the hitting together. And I think for the last 5 games, you've seen all of it. You've seen us win games that we've shut really good teams out and been able to score the 1 run when it counted, and games when we've turned double plays to help us get momentum into offense. So I think that's been the key for us is, you know, we saw in practice what we could be, and then being able to put it all together.
We'll go to Eric Lopez.
Eric Lopez in the circle for Coach. Coach, I'm curious, how does it feel to be here at the World Series as a head coach versus being here as a player and as an assistant? And I'm curious, what did Coach Kendrea tell you after you booked the trip after the win in Starkville?
What did he tell me? I can't remember. It was a really good text, though. I'm not sure I can even share it with you. But it was a good text, and he booked a trip out here, and he's very excited. He's been texting the girls even on our group chat after the games, and he's been supportive every step of the way. And, you know, it feels more rewarding in this seat because I get to see, you know, each of them, 18 individuals, kind of go through the role of their own seasons, their own struggles, their own triumphs. And it's special. It's special for me to see that growth throughout the year and for them to play really some good team softball at the right time. So that's been the most exciting for me.
Graham Hayes.
Thanks. So for Caitlin, you played on a lot of teams where you would give the ball to one pitcher and she would go all 7 innings, all tournament, all season, whatever the case may be. One of them was on your staff now. As the sport has changed, how have you kind of shaped your view of pitching and pitching usage and managing a staff?
Well, hitting's better. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that. I think all around the game, the hitting's better. I think 1 through 9 with all of these lineups are going to be pretty stacked. So I think you have to provide different looks. I think, you know, you have to go with a pitcher, you know, one of them sitting right here that can change themselves throughout the game according to what hitters are doing off of them. And that's when it helps to play head Z softball, which is what Hanah Bowen does. Devin Netz is great at it. But you have to be a dynamic pitcher, and you have to know the game. And I think that's where the difference comes in.
Back over here.
Sharlize, at one point you were hitting under 200 this season, and then the second half of the season you just exploded. What was the key to your turnaround?
Staying focused on the little things. I really did get to enjoy playing with my teammates and just pulling from them and pulling their energy and not trying to focus so much on my performance. And there was definitely a lot of tears and a lot of talks with Kate and my family, but I just try to stay the course and just simplify it again. And yeah, it's been a lot more fun now on this side, but.
Anything else?
I guess the last one for Allie. Did you ever envision that in your second season at Arizona you'd lead the Pac-12 in homers?
No, just because of look at the other players, man. Like, especially coming in. I mean, last year, yes, I got a decent number of at bats, but coming in this, I kind of call it my like freshman season. Like, I feel like it's my first full one. I'm still kind of figuring it out, just like the rest of us. No, I mean, I knew I had it in me, but I've never been the type of player to expect that type of thing. I feel like it just happens, and I'm taking everything. I'm not taking anything for granted. And I will say Bailey Klinger, she's my favorite player. And so like it was cracking me up when she would go ahead one and then I would catch up to her and then I'd go up one and she'd catch up to me. And so little cat and mouse chase. But I think it's awesome, and I'm super honored to be on that list with such great hitters.
Coach, can you talk about Allie's improvement, her growth, maturity? What have you seen from her this year?
Well, I was going to add to that and just say that I don't think the rest of us are surprised by it at all. I know she's being humble right now, but I don't think when you watch her come to work every single day and do what she does, and she's just steady. She's always been consistent for us, and I'm not talking about games. I'm talking about every day at practice, any workout, any individual. Good things happen to those people who put in the work in every day, have a great attitude, and they're great teammates, and you're not surprised to see those. And honestly, in the limited time she hit 5 home runs last year, and to me that's not surprising at all, that she could come in uncomfortable situations with less reps and still hit 5 bombs in really, really crucial situations against very good pitching. So not surprising at all, and now that she has this full season, full body of work, she's just going to continue to get better.
All right. Coach, thank you very much. Our student athletes, thank you. Best of luck.
You.